Yeah. All right.
Okay, I've opened the light fixture. I'm gonna go and remove the sockets and go and replace them with new ones. I'm gonna take out the ballast. Obviously you can see one good one, and then this one's the bad one. Obviously the ones that did not work. We're gonna go and change everything out. I'm gonna start off with cutting off the wires to the power. And then we'll go ahead and cut the wires to the sockets and clean all this out. Okay, I've separated the power from this. Okay, so I've got this part separated. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the ballast and sockets apart. You wanna start with the 2 screws here. And the 2 screws here. Loosen those. Now take this bracket off. Okay, I've removed the 4 screws, and now we're going to separate this. Go ahead and cut the wires here and separate all this. I've cut the wires from the sockets here. Go ahead and disconnect the green, and then we'll go ahead and remove these sockets. Now I've cut the wires here to separate the 2 pieces. We're going to get this cleaned up now. Okay, I've removed the 4 sockets and basically got all this cleaned up. Get this screw back in place. Let's go and get all this cleaned up. Okay, so I have new sockets made. As you can see, reds on one side, blues on the other, and then along wiring. I'm going to start with this and go ahead and start assembling the sockets onto the plate here. Okay, I've installed the new sockets, the wiring coming out. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the new ballast ready. Okay, you would need to look at the schematic here on the ballast and make sure you have the shunt for the yellow. Your circuit's going to be across and across. I'm going to go ahead and separate the blues, reds, and yellows for this circuit. Okay, I've got my blues separated. I've got my reds separated. Now these are going to be the shunt. We're going to get these set up. Okay, as you can see, I'm taking a blue and a red, put it together, use the blue, signal as orange or yellow, just for the ballast as an indicator, identifier. We'll do the same thing for the other side. Again, I'm going across, reds on one side, blues on the other. And then in the middle is the reds and blues. We're going to tie these together like this. All right, we got the table area cleaned up. We have our ballast in place, ready for assembly. Have our wiring set up. So you have your blues, reds, and then you have your yellows, which are going to be these. Okay, so let's go ahead and start hooking these up. Okay, we're going to start with going across here. We're going to start with the blues and the reds here. And we'll start with this ballast here. Okay, I have my blue installed. Now I'm going to go and get the red. Go and get that installed. Okay, I've got my reds installed. Now I'm going to do my yellows. So now I'm grabbing the yellow part, and here are the 2. These will go into the yellow section. Okay, this ballast is wired up. Now these blues should be yellows. I've used a substitute for the orange tape to identify. You know, this is what happens if you run out of a certain color wire. You can transfer, alternate to a different color. All right, this ballast is set up. Let's go and get this one done. Gonna go and take the reds and the blues, start with those first, get them hooked up to this. All right, so now I've got my wires hooked up. We'll go and get the grounds hooked up and go and get this mounted to the bracket. Okay, you've mounted your ballast after hooking up the wires. So you got them on the bottom, and you got your white and black ready to go. You've hooked up your ground, and now you're going to do the same thing for this side. Okay, I've mounted the ballast to the bracket, so now it's time to go ahead and get the black and whites hooked up for the power. Okay, now I've got my power hooked up, the ground. Looks like so I got the one ground hooked up, which goes to the plate here, creating the ground for all this. And then the two grounds obviously go to the ballast. And then you got your powers, neutral and black, going to the fixture here. Now it's time to go ahead and close all this up. You're gonna go ahead and mount the bracket to this, and then go ahead and assemble to this. Okay, you wanna make sure that you put your electrical through the hole of the bracket here before you hook up the power to the ballast and whatnot. Okay, so now we have all this assembled. And now we're gonna go ahead and get this part on. Okay, as you can see, I've got the new LED bulbs in. The fixture's tight with the middle ring that holds it in place. And here you go. Your finished light fixture. Okay, we'll go and get this mounted. You can see how the light fixture is in place. This goes into a locker room for a gym.